Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be showcasing our tool called SQL Task Manager. The whole reason we developed this is simply because in some instances we wanted to run reports not necessarily from our databases but from MS SQL or MySQL databases that we either want to import into our systems as CSV files, or we would like to create easy reports from those to send to clients on a schedule, whether it's a daily, weekly, monthly, whatever they would like. So the way that we created this was to create a utility that allows you to connect to either an MS SQL or a MySQL database, write a query like you would in SSMS, and then be able to either export it to a CSV or an XLSX file. The XLSX file does not require Office, so you don't need Office installed on the machine for it to create it and then send the email. You can either select a folder that you would like to store that file in, or you can email it out to a group or a single person with error reporting to a individual that is responsible for making sure that the tasks run on time. So the overview of it is that you have your servers. So here when you insert, you would have your server description, whatever it is, your server SQL server address, which is whatever the connection address is, 192.168 or SQL server or whatever the connection is to it. The database you would like to make the initial connection to. Remember, you don't need to necessarily use this database. You just need it to verify that that connection is valid. The username that you would use, we currently only support usernames that you create with SQL, not Windows authentication. So either the default for MS SQL, which is SA, or a custom created user, and then your password. All these details are stored with encryption, so they are secure on this machine. And then you have a live system here to tell you if it is a live system, it will show green under servers to make sure that you're aware that when you're working with it, that you are working with a live system, or if it is a test system, you leave that unticked and it won't show any color. Then you can select your server type, whether it's MS SQL or MySQL, and then when you test connection, it will tell you if it's verified or not. So if we have a look at the server here, we'll have our main server, the server connection that we use, the database that we connect to, the username, and the password. We have this set up as a live system, as an MS SQL server, and if we test connection, it will tell us that the connection is verified. If I add an extra tick there, it will then tell me that the connection is not verified. So before we get into building the actual query, we would go into your email settings, and you can create your email server that you email from. And if you would like to CC all the reports, now if you add it in here, this will CC any report created that uses this email server to this person, and or blind carbon copy the same report. So they will receive everything that's emailed from this email server. Your email lists are basically email lists that you would like to send to certain people, so you create an email list so that certain people, groups of people, will be able to email it. If you would like to add more email addresses, you would just add a comma and the next email address. Carbon copies exactly the same, and failed notification list would be if there is an error with this running of this report, it would then send you a email with the error that happened. Well, it would send you an email saying it failed. So there we go. So now what you can do is, now that we've gone through the emails and all of that, we can insert. Now here you'll see that we have a task order. Basically, for each server, you have a task order which it will run in sequence so that you can make a set of reports or queries. It doesn't need to be a report. It handles select, update, insert, anything you want, but it will do it in order. So you can create the task description, whatever you'd like to call it. Now you can either run in intervals, where you can run it for however many minutes, between every minute, hour, and day. Please note that when you use minute, you can have a maximum of 60. When you use hour, you can have a maximum of 24. And when you have a day, you can have however many days you'd like to have. Then you can run it, if you'd prefer to run it daily, you can then select your start date and run time that you'd like to have it every day. Run weekly, whatever day you'd like to have it, and run monthly, what day we have a certain selection of days, you can run it during that month. Here you have your SQL command, whatever you'd like to see. So we are going to have a look at our one here. So I've got a basic report here, and you'll see that I don't have any of the details. That doesn't have run intervals or run daily or anything like that. So this will basically run when I will ask it to. It won't run on any specific schedule, so I can force the run whenever I'd like to. But say I'd like to run this daily, and I would like to have it today at 8 o'clock. And then I can go to advanced. Now the report basically says you want to create the file with the export. If you have a insert or an update, you would not use the advanced side, and you would not tick report or anything like that, because that would be a task that just runs. The advanced would basically be for selects where you have output that you would like to send to clients, to yourself, or to a folder. So basically, if you're exporting to a folder for a CSV, you would tell it where you'd like to store those reports. You'd like to have it as a CSV, and then you can import it into another system or anything like that. If you'd like to clear the logs, sometimes if you run reports or your logs you'd like to clear on a daily basis because you run the report every 5 minutes. Sometimes you just don't want to have days and thousands of logs that you have in history. It's just not practical. So you can click that, and every midnight it will clear the previous day's logs. Then if you'd like to email the report, you can then tick that, and if you'd like to delete the file so you don't have extraneous files lying around, you can then say delete the file after the email, and then you would select the email list that you'd like to use, and then you can give the email a subject, and you can give the email a message for the body of the email. And if you'd like to use HTML, you can just tick that, and then it will use HTML code to send to the user. From there, you have now created your report, and then your options are, you have a system paused here. If the system paused is ticked, it means it will pause all tasks until you untick it. And then you can ask it if you just like to force the run task to run immediately, so you don't want to wait for the evening or anything, you just want to quickly run it. You can say force run task, it will then run it straight away. Reset task basically resets all the variables to say run as soon as the next available time that it's designed to run. So maybe it's past 8, previous one ran, but you'd like it just to run it in the next interval, and then you can reset task, then it'll pretend like it hadn't run at 8, so it will run in the next time the program runs. View logs. If you want to view the logs, you can see what happened, if everything was alright, how many rows were executed, anything like that, information that was output by the system. And that is that. And it works very nicely. Everything, obviously, if there are any issues, you can let us know. We will, if you have any ideas, we generally like to take that and update the program, but I find this works very well for the clients that we have it on. And yes, thank you for watching, and if you'd like to buy the product or give us an email to find out more about it, you can go to our website, davcomm.co.za, and you can give us a call or an email, and we will come back to you with any details that you'd like to find out about it. If you would like to just buy it, you can go to products, Davcomm tools, and you can buy the tool as it is, and we will help you with any setups or anything you'd like to find out about it. This does require Windows 10 or above, simply because it does utilize certain aspects of SSMS to make sure that all your SQL queries are available to be run. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any queries, as I said, please contact. We'll be happy to help.